Oh, welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs, and this is what if Naruto was adopted by Jiraiya Part 2. Last time we left off with the Team 7 actually getting the first ever C ranked mission, and yeah, we begin this part by Team 7 actually leaving the village and heading out to the Land of Waves. A few hours later, after walking quite a bit, they finally, encounter the two demon brothers as per normal, and only Sakura is the one not to notice, and of course once they attack, Naruto actually was the one to take the lead and take them out easily, while they were really close to getting Kakashi. Of course, Kakashi was about to fake his death again. Naruto comes in pretty fast, just like a yellow flash of the leaf. Yes, he actually threw a kunai and came real fast. He actually teleported before anyone could even see him, and he roundhouse kicked both of them at the same time, but doing a split in the air. And of course, the two had no chance against Naruto. And Naruto, while he was falling back to the ground, was just looking at them. And of course, in the end, the two actually surrender before Naruto even gets close to them, realizing how strong Naruto truly is. They realize that, nah, we're good, bro, we're good, we ain't trying to die. So anyways, after this, Naruto ties them up, and of course, Naruto actually looking at them menacingly, he actually asks them who they're after and why are they here, and also who's sending them. The two answer real quickly, and Naruto then says, alright, I'll let you go for this time, for this once, but if you come back ever again, if you hurt anyone else, and if I hear your names, well, as long as they're in a good manner or good news, I will hunt you down. I will not hunt you down, but if you hurt any other innocent people, you do any other bad deeds, I'm going to hunt you down and kill you. I will make you suffer. Now run. And as he says that, Naruto actually did have a pretty menacing side to him. Of course, Sasuke and Sakura weren't expecting this, same as Kakashi, but after this, Naruto then tells them that they should keep going on this mission. It doesn't matter what kind of rank this is, they're more than capable enough to do it. Sasuke's here, Kakashi's here, Naruto's here, and Sakura can even Sakura's here, so it's more than enough. And Kakashi actually is more convinced this time because he believes Naruto is already Jonin level after realizing that Naruto can use the flying Raijin this well. Of course, not as good as the full Hokage, because the full Hokage could have decapitated them before they could even get close to Kakashi. But still, of course, he believes in his team, especially Naruto, since Naruto is showing a lot of potential of being like the future Hokage, being the next yellow flash, as in the orange flash. But anyways, now Naruto of course continues with his team, and after a few more hours of walking, he finally arrives at the Land of Waves. But Naruto actually feels something, and he actually throws a kunai at the bush, at the same bush, and Sakura sees that just a bunny came out, and a rabbit came out, and of course Sakura's like, hey, you nearly killed that rabbit. And basically Naruto's like, you know what season this is? And Sakura's like, spring, or I think it was around spring, I'm not sure, I'm not going to check that, that's irrelevant. But anyways, then Naruto says, then why is that one a white rabbit? Don't you think it's kind of weird that in the middle of spring or summer, whatever, it was pretty hot then, there's a white rabbit? Shouldn't it be brown or dirty? Don't you think? And Sakura's like, oh yeah. And basically, as they were talking, of course, everyone ducks down because they see a massive sword swinging at them. And so after that, Team 7 realizes that they're in trouble. Of course, now the two, not the two, Zabuza actually appears on top of his sword and says that to give the bridge builder, and they can leave with their lives, or they die with the bridge builder. And anyways, of course, Team 7 that started actually, Kakashi tells his team to stand back and to not engage even to Naruto, because he cannot trust anyone in his team right now, especially when it's someone like Zabuza, someone Zabuza is someone known to be like a cold-blooded killer, an A rank shinobi, maybe even no S rank, A rank shinobi, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen. Well, let me check if he was an S rank. Holy fucking shit, he was an S rank. Yo, I underestimated him. Fucking hell. Yo, Zabuza's the GOAT. Man's an S rank shinobi. Hey yo, I've learned something new today. I got new motivation to make this video. I was burnt out. I didn't want to make this. I was tired at school. Anyways, Zabuza being the S rank shinobi is, Kakashi did not want his team to fight. He doesn't believe that his team can actually take on an S rank shinobi. He can't. Even Naruto, like Naruto may be strong, but Zabuza will find a way out of, you know, Naruto's flying Raijin. I know he might be an S rank shinobi. I mean, he knows that he might be an S rank jutsu too, but Naruto is not as skillful as the fourth. Minato would have easily taken out Zabuza. Like Minato easily takes out the Raikage, who's actually the third strongest right now. First is the Hokage, third Hokage, then is probably what's his name? What's the Tsuchikage? Onoki, there we go, Onoki. Man, I'm forgetting Naruto, man. I gotta rewatch. I'm joking. I'm watching One Piece. Anyways, now, of course, Naruto, who was just watching the fight, sees that Kakashi is actually slowing down in his moves, especially after, you know, using the Sharingan for a bit. Naruto, realizing Kakashi was getting slowed down, or was starting to slow down, he tells his team that he's going to go ahead and help Kakashi. And, you know, his team are like, what do you mean? Do you really think you're that strong to take on someone like him? Well, Sasuke mostly says that. Naruto says, I'm not saying I can take him on. I'm saying that Kakashi is getting tired. If you didn't see, Kakashi Sensei's moves are getting slower. I'm sorry if you didn't notice that, but I don't want him to die. And as he says that, he disappears from their vision because he actually has a seal on Kakashi. And yes, that seal can only be broken. Yes, that's a contract seal. That seal can only be broken once the actual person who has it dies. Anyways, Naruto teleports to Kakashi and sees Kakashi about to step on a puddle, but Kakashi stops in his tracks, and Naruto kicks Zabuza right in the face and Naruto tells Kakashi that he's going to be helping him. He can see that he's getting tired, and to leave the rest to him. And of course, Zabuza has been, you know, tired. Well, he is tired now, but anyways, Naruto then actually looks at Zabuza and lets out his own bloodlust, which Zabuza starts laughing and saying, is that all you can do, kid? And as he says that, he actually blitzes Naruto didn't even see him coming, and he was about to swing his sword, but of course Naruto, last second, right before the sword cut him in half, was able to teleport away to a kunai that he threw once he actually teleported towards Kakashi without Zabuza noticing. Of course, Kakashi was a bit further away, so he wouldn't get cut, and Kakashi actually saw this and realized that Naruto is actually every day, day after day, he's resembling the fourth Hokage more and more. Like, this is exactly what Minato used to do. That literally, he gives him an idea, like just like the Raikage. Like the Raikage was a millisecond away from hitting him, and literally he teleports away, and that teleports back behind him with a kunai about to shank him and everything. But anyways, of course, Kakashi can see Minato and he smells, of course. But anyways, Naruto about to take the last blow on Zabuza after punching him and kicking him a bit around. While teleporting, he was about to cut off his head. Well, not really cut off his head, but injure him enough to actually kill him. But out of nowhere, 3 Senbon flew at Naruto, literally stabbed Naruto right in the neck. They didn't kill, they were purposely put in places around his neck that they would not kill, they would only faint. Or Haku could have easily killed Naruto by just hitting one of the vital spots. Anyways, after this, Naruto faints on the ground while Zabuza was about to kill him, but then Kakashi arrives with a Raikiri, but then Haku literally literally pulls Zabuza away and they escape. Of course, Kakashi then picks up Naruto and checks if he's still alive, and is relieved to see that Naruto's still alive, and so he takes out the 3 Senbon, and Zabuza Tazano offers Team 7 to stay at his home for a week or so, for as much time they need. And anyways, Kakashi says a week should be enough. And anyways, that's mostly for him. Naruto can recover in 1 or 2 days. But anyways, of course, next day Naruto wakes up. Well, not a few hours later. Naruto wakes up in a home and is confused where he is. But then he sees Kakashi reading a book next to him, and Kakashi says, "Oh well, you finally woken up. Well, the fight went really well until the end. Someone attacked us. I think Zabuza's subordinate. He could have easily killed you, but for some reason he let you live. You should be grateful. You must have missed on purposely, maybe. I don't even know. Anyways, we will be training tomorrow, so you better join." And Naruto says, "To be honest, I don't really have to train in anything with you guys. I know most of the things." But then Kakashi says, "Well, I asked Jiraiya, Master Jiraiya, what you needed to learn, and apparently you still don't know lightning release." And Naruto's like, "So what? I'll learn it one day." And Kakashi's like, "It's your lucky day. I'm a lightning specialist." And Naruto raises an eyebrow and says, "Wait, for real?" And Kakashi says, "We'll see tomorrow if you want to train with me." Anyways, of course, Naruto actually is given drills to actually make his chakra into lightning, and literally, of course, Naruto actually has the ability. He just can't use it. Like, literally, he has lightning release. He just can't use it for some reason. He has shown with the chakra absorbing papers, or the chakra nature telling papers. I don't even know what they're called. I was about to call it Viv card, but then I realized that that's from One Piece. Anyways, of course, now Naruto actually is given drills to actually train in his lightning release, and over time, of course, Naruto is doing it over and over again up until he's really tired, exhausted, and it's been a few days. He's been training at this, and one of these days he just stayed until late, and then he saw Haku. Of course, him and Haku made friends, and Haku still gave him the speech about the loved ones. And if you have loved ones, or a loved one, you'll always be stronger to protect them. And Naruto says that he does have a few loved ones. For example, he is now loving it in the village, even though if people hate it, he still wants to protect the village. He believes that he has to. It's his duty, and plus, it's something his godfather has been doing for years upon years, and apparently his father and mother actually died for the village, and so he wants to continue their legacy in protecting the village himself, and one day become just as strong as the full Hokage, who was just a hero and someone relied on and trusted. Someone like that Naruto wants to become. Anyways, now after all of this, Naruto actually goes back home. Of course, the next day, waking up late. First time waking up late to a mission. His team already left, but Naruto knew where they were, and he was about to teleport until, after of course having breakfast and everything, until he hears Inari and his mother scream. And so he actually teleports to them, because after giving Inari that speech about not only is he the only one who's suffering, there are people who are suffering and going through even worse, something that he would have had to go through, but of course Jiraiya had the heart and soul to actually help out Naruto when he needed it as a kid. Anywho, now Naruto now heads out after saving Inari and Inari's mother, and arrives at the battlefield. Of course, Kakashi was fighting Zabuza, but Haku finally appeared. Of course, not as Haku, as the masked man, the original masked man, obviously as the B-Tech one. Anyways, now, of course, Haku arrives, and it's pretty obvious that he's going to fight, and so Sasuke tries to fight the Haku, doing pretty well at first until Haku uses the ice mirrors, which Naruto actually teleports in last second, and now Naruto and Sasuke actually start not fighting each other, but start fighting, try to get out the ice mirrors. Naruto didn't want to leave Sasuke on his own, but anyways, of course the ice mirrors wouldn't really do anything, especially because Naruto left the kunai outside it, and once Haku was about to throw Senbone, Naruto actually teleported the two out, actually putting a seal on Sasuke at the same time. And anywho, Naruto now finally, Team 7 actually was pretty safe from Haku's Senbone now, and Naruto actually started fighting Haku up until they heard the sound of 1,000 birds, and Haku actually went in the way of Kakashi and still died, just like in the original. Naruto couldn't do much about that, And of course, once they find out about Haku, of course Naruto sheds some tears and asks why, and Haku explains, just like in the original, that Zabuza was his precious one, the one that he loved the most, and he would do anything for him. He would even give his own life up, and there he goes, giving his own life up. And anyways, now of course Zabuza still pulls him a tool just per normal, and Naruto gets pretty pissed and gives his talking jutsu to actually change Zabuza, and in the end Zabuza had his little redemption fight at the end, fighting for him and Haku's pride, and in the end that's next to Haku. Naruto buries them, giving them a proper burial, and of course literally leaving the executioner blade. Even though he wanted to take it, he didn't feel like he should, because it was Zabuza's blade and he deserves to keep it, and it's just to remember him anyways. Now, after this, Naruto and Team 7 actually leave and return to the Leaf Village after helping Tazuna build a bridge, and the bridge was still called the Nate. Oh shit, rip Nate. Anyways, bro, J Pool's ego is so high now. I mean, we all have an ego, we all have self-esteem. If you don't have self-esteem, bro, you gotta get some, bro. You need to believe in yourself, bro. Believe and you shall receive. I don't believe in myself, to be honest, but anyway, now of course Naruto and Team 7 return, and Kakashi wastes no time and actually tells his team about the Chunin exams, because he actually realized that maybe they should train, especially Sakura. But anyways, of course after this, Team 7 actually begins training, and Sakura actually asks Naruto for some training, and Naruto gave her some tips. And of course now, after all of this, Sakura actually begins training herself, and she actually caught up really fast to Ino, and so you already know what's gonna happen in Chunin exams with Ino and Sakura. Anyways, now of course 2 weeks later, Team 7 actually comes back together and they enter the Chunin exams, and yeah, first test for, well, the real test was the Genjutsu in the, well, it wasn't really the Genjutsu, but anyways, of course Naruto dispels the Genjutsu easily, and after this Lee still challenges Sasuke, which Sasuke actually does not take up on, because he doesn't want to show anyone what he's learned over these 2 weeks, and what he has unlocked, and what he realized that he already had, just that he never used it. Anyways, yes, Sasuke did have the Sharingan from the very beginning. We saw it, him awakening it when he sees his parents dead, and he just didn't know about it up until he unlocked it again, basically unlocked in quotation marks, because he never really unlocked it again, but he just had it. He just, like, he awakened it. It's just that he's never used it, and he used it there because he needed it without realizing it. He did it unconsciously. But anyways, now Team 7 of course passes the first exam easily, and then it was the second part of the exam. Naruto still needed to go and do his little business as per normal. However, here Naruto actually had the seal on Sasuke, and so once he actually finished, he saw a snake coming at him, and he's like, yeah, I'm good, and he threw a kunai, well, he threw multiple kunais at the same time, by actually using the Shadow Kunai clone, Kunai Shadow clone, and they all had paper bombs in it, and then Naruto actually teleported towards Sasuke. With a massive explosion in the distance, of course Naruto actually appears in front of Sasuke, where he was actually getting bitten, and Naruto realizes that there's a massive next to him, and he looks back to see Sasuke actually getting bitten, and as he was falling down, Naruto catches him, and he asks Sasuke what's happening, and he sees the seal, and he realized that he needs to seal this away, and the only seal he has is basically the same one that Kakashi had, and so he sealed away straight away, and Sasuke was a bit more conscious here, and so he saw Naruto, and Naruto gave him to Sakura. While Sakura was pretty much helpless, Naruto told her to go hide and run, and while he takes him on, and then he looks back and he says, you're a fool, and as he says that, he actually teleports in front of him. Of course, while he actually arrived, and he actually threw a kunai on the ground near his well, as soon as he saw the neck, he actually threw a kunai, and even Orochimaru didn't notice. And anyways, now Naruto teleported towards this kunai and had a Rasengan ready and smashed it right into Orochimaru's face. and of course Orochimaru went flying, but then he appeared again next to Naruto using body flicker and asked Naruto how he knew that technique, and Naruto says, I'm not sure, but I know I'm going to destroy you with it. And as he says that, he literally smashes another one into Orochimaru's chest, which actually hurts Orochimaru, and he's like, that's enough, kid, I'm going to kill you. And he literally just let snakes come out of his sleeves, and of course Naruto sees them, and what he does is that he uses his lightning release to actually electrocute all of them. Yes, Naruto finally knows how to use lightning release thanks to Kakashi's drills, and Naruto actually training in lightning release for the past 2 weeks. Anyways, now Naruto, of course, having a pretty fair chance against Orochimaru since his body is weak. Well, he's not his real body and everything, and so Naruto can take him on. And while he was taking him on, Orochimaru decided to escape, realizing that with this body he won't be able to get anywhere, especially knowing Naruto knowing the flying Raijin somehow. Like, bro, that's kind of overpowered, don't you think? And so he actually went off, and anyways, Naruto actually teleported towards his team, and he saw Sasuke trying to fight off the Sound Ninjas with Sakura, but Sasuke was half unconscious, and so he didn't stand too much of a chance. But Naruto arrived, and literally using just his presence, he literally told them to run and give their scroll unless they want to all die. Remember, there's no rules here, so killing is allowed. And you know, they realized how strong Naruto is just by the amount of pressure he gave off, and so they left the scroll and ran away. Naruto and Team 7 now arrived at the tower, and opening the scroll, Iruka actually came out of it and asked what happened to Sasuke, and Naruto says he needs medical care. He's been bitten by this one guy, and there's a mark on his neck. I've sealed it away, but it's a pretty weak seal. Can you ask Kakashi Sensei to do his best to seal it away? And Kakashi, all he could do is just increase the seal strength to how much he put on it, just as per normal. He wasn't as strong as Kakashi's. He was the same one, but he wasn't as strong because Naruto didn't. He was still not good at seals. He just started. Anyways, now, of course, the preliminaries begin next, and Sasuke has recovered by now, and his fight goes as per normal. Kiba and Naruto actually didn't really have too much of a, well, they had a rivalry, but of course they're friends, so they wish themselves each other luck. And of course Naruto comes out victorious of helping out Kiba, and Hinata still giving that lotion to Naruto, not lotion, that cream to Naruto. And anyways, Naruto thanks Hinata this time actually knowing how to be kind, since he has grown up with Jiraiya being pretty fanatic over girls. Like, literally he loves girls. I mean, who doesn't, Nadu? Anyways, holy shite. Sorry. Anyways, of course Naruto thanks her, and you know, Hinata's happy. And then the next few fights go exactly the same. Hinata's one goes the same, and here it wasn't even all not only were the Jonins about to step in, but Naruto actually teleported in front of Neji before the Jonins could do anything. Naruto was way too fast and stopped Neji's attack, his final attack, to actually kill Hinata. And he says, what are you doing? You know you can't kill here, it's illegal. And literally you're squeezing you know, Neji's hand, not really hand, sorry. And you know, Neji says, oh, do you really think that hurts? And you know, he uses a bit of chakra to actually make Naruto let go. And anyways, now Neji tells Naruto to get out of the way, and Naruto says, do you really think killing is allowed? And Neji tried to attack Naruto, and Naruto, being way too fast, dodging that attack and literally kicking him in the chest and kicking him backwards. Naruto did quite a bit of damage, and you know, Neji was tired, and so he was sent back pretty far back. Anyways, now after this, the fight was stopped, and then was Lee's fight. Lee's fight went exactly the same as per normal. Lee getting annihilated, and Might Guy getting emotional over it and stopping Gaara from killing Lee, because that's what he's meant to do. Anyways, now, I mean, he is meant to do that. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. If anyone thought I was being sarcastic, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Anyways, the 1 month training begins, and well, it was announced, and everyone begins their 1 month training other than Sakura, since she lost. But Naruto told Sakura that she tried, and she should still train over this 1 month to become even stronger. Anyways, of course, Hinata and Lee were hospitalized, and Hinata needed medical care, same as Lee, and Lee found out that he can never be a shinobi ever again. And anyways, he was pretty heartbroken, but Naruto and Shikamaru actually came to console him, and even Choji and Shino, and of course Hinata was already visited by them, but then even Ino came. But then they saw Gaara actually trying to kill Lee, and he was stopped by them, and of course Gaara then escaped. Anyways, now of course Naruto then says he's the dangerous one, I need to train hard to beat him, and same as the other two who passed, Shino and Shikamaru. Anywho, after this, Naruto and the rest actually go off to their 1 month training, and here Naruto already trained with Jiraiya, so he doesn't really need to train with Jiraiya, and actually continues his training in Lightning Release. He wanted to ask Kakashi for training, but he knew that Sasuke would ask him, and so he actually went to someone different. He went to Hiruzen. Yes, he literally asked the Hokage if he can train him. The Hokage at first was a bit like, I wish I could, but I really have some work to do. But then he actually realized that maybe Naruto could actually become like one of the strongest villagers ever, and maybe even become the next Hokage if Hiruzen lives that far ahead, or if no one is able to become the 5th Hokage, or if no one's willing to. And anyways, now of course he actually decides to train Naruto, not for the full month, but he actually gives Naruto a few scrolls, and even gives him a few most lightning release jutsus because Naruto needs them, and also he gives him a few scrolls to do with Minato's a few jutsus that he had. Of course there weren't many, but anyways, we don't really know too many jutsus from Minato other than him knowing the flying Raijin. So anyways, of course Naruto's actually given the what I mean by Minato jutsus, first of all, is how Minato actually learned the flying Raijin, and that is through the second Hokage. So I should say the second Hokage's flying Raijin, which is the flying Thunder God. Anyways, the flying Raijin, and wait, which one's the flying? Wait, I'm confusion. It's the same fucking thing. It's just that Minato's one is a more refined version. Naruto needs to learn the basics of it. Naruto has been given the jutsu from Minato, which is much harder than the second Hokage's one. But if Naruto is able to actually master the second Hokage's one, he'll definitely be able to refine it just like Minato and become just as strong as him. And anyways, Naruto goes off to do that. He actually takes a full month just to do that, and actually train a bit in the lightning release, and he's actually able to use something called the lightning net, the lightning prison, and the lightning clone, and also he's actually trying to create the lightning dragon, which is basically like the Kirin, but he doesn't actually it's not literally the Kirin, because the Kirin was developed from the Chidori, same as the Raikiri, because the Raikiri is a more refined version of the Chidori. But anyways, or the lightning blade. But anyways, I'm pretty sure lightning blade means Raikiri. I'm pretty sure. Let me check that too. Yeah, the Raikiri is the lightning blade, while the Chidori is a bit of a more, well, the Raikiri needs a bit more chakra control. But anyways, now of course after this Naruto actually learns he doesn't really call it flying the Kirin, but it's a bit of a it's basically like the lightning hound, but instead of a hound it's actually a dragon. Anywho, the 1 month passes and the Chunin exams begin again, and Naruto fights the first one. Naruto, of course, telling Neji that he's going to beat him and show him that hard work can pay off too. It's not just talent. He never had talent. He was never a prodigy. Of course, he is a prodigy basically. Like, we've seen Naruto learning things fast as hell. We know he's a prodigy. Like, bro, he learns way too fast to not be a prodigy. But of course, we all know he's the underdog compared to. He's not really such a prodigy compared to someone like Neji, Itachi, Shisui. Minato is a generational genius, while fucking Itachi started thinking like a Hokage at the age of 6. Anyways, of course Naruto thinks just like a Hokage at this point, at the age of 12, nearly 13. But anyways, of course Naruto joins the Chunin exams and begins the Chunin exams and destroys Neji. And of course Neji actually finds out about Naruto doesn't even use flying Raijin. That's how easy it was to beat Neji. Neji really didn't need too much work, and Naruto says that they even use my strongest technique against my 2 strongest techniques against you, or 3 now, and still you lost to me. That just shows that you need a lot more training. You haven't worked hard enough. You think talent is everything. You think you'll get everything in a silver platter only because you're born as a prodigy. But that's wrong. Even prodigies like Sasuke have to work hard. So next time, I suggest you should work harder and don't underestimate people. I'm pretty sure even Lee could have beaten you. Anyways, of course, we don't really know if Lee could have beaten Neji. Maybe he could have. Yes, he definitely could have if Gaara had to use a bit of his rage mode, but anyways, a bit of his berserker mode. Of course, the Chunin exams go exactly the same up to Sasuke's fight, and here Sasuke arrives and uses his 3 Tomoe Sharingan, because he had the 2 Tomoe Sharingan. That's what I meant by he awakened the next stage of it before, but now he awakened the 3 Tomoe Sharingan and he did a lot better. And of course Gaara had an even harder time with Sasuke literally being way faster than him. And of course, after seeing Lee, Sasuke actually did start training with weights, but before he came, he actually took them off and was fast as hell. Anyways, Gaara still went into his rage, into wrath state, or his berserker mode, and or half Shikake form, as many would say, well, as I say it, and left with the sound trio, or his sand siblings. And Naruto tells Sasuke not to go, and tells him to leave this to him. And of course they actually remain in the of course Sasuke doesn't even listen and just goes off on his own, being pretty pissed off. And Naruto is called sees that the Hokage is actually getting sealed away into, not sealed away, trapped. And so Naruto says, alright then, Sasuke has to wait. And as he says that, he actually teleports towards the Hokage. Yes, Naruto actually had a he actually threw a kunai last second and he was able to get in. And of course the fight against Orochimaru began, and Naruto here was able to actually help out Hiruzen in actually stopping the first and second Hokage. And Naruto, something that also he learned over the 2 months training is sealing jutsus that he actually had from Jiraiya, but he never had the chance to learn. Finally he was able to learn them in his spare time after training with his lightning release and the jutsus, the actual flying Raijin. And Naruto actually used this flying Raijin here and he's able to seal the 2 Hokages away. And then Naruto tells the Hokage that he'll have to take care of Orochimaru. He did, and he took on the 2 Hokage. Of course they were nerfed as per normal. Of course they weren't as strong as that, they were actually way stronger. But of course the Hokage thanks Naruto, and of course Naruto teleports away towards Sasuke, where he actually sees Sasuke fighting in his curse monk state. And Naruto didn't understand what this was because Sasuke was still conscious. And anyways, now after this, Sasuke gets annihilated, but Naruto then takes on Gaara. Of course, already knocking out Kankuro and Temari. He actually takes on Gaara after Sasuke nearly got knocked out, and Sasuke sees Naruto actually having an easy time against half Shikake form Gaara. And once Gaara goes into full Shikake state, Naruto has to do the summoning jutsu, which Sasuke sees how much power Naruto has, and Naruto actually in the end Takano jutsus Gaara, telling Gaara that he's basically like him. A lot of people, most of the people in the village hate him. Of course, he didn't have just as a bad childhood, but he still understands how he feels. This, if Naruto stayed in the village, he would have literally been Gaara. And of course, he got saved by, a kind soul. And so he wants to be that kind soul to Gaara, and he wants to save him. And he, reaches out to Gaara, and Gaara actually, reaches out to his own to Naruto's hand and literally becomes his friend. Now, of course, after this Takano jutsu, they both fall to the ground. Naruto actually catches Gaara, and then Sasuke sees, and Sasuke still being pretty pissed off. He doesn't really show it, but anyways, now Team 7, Naruto returns to the stadium to see that the Hokage barely was able to beat Orochimaru, since he didn't take too much damage from the 2 Hokage thanks to Naruto. Still, he took quite a bit of damage, but still he was able to survive. Orochimaru had to escape with the Sound 4, and now the Hokage asked, once Jiraiya actually arrived to actually help out the Leaf Village, he was actually after the attack, he was actually asked to become the 5th Hokage. Jiraiya declined, saying that he would be taking Naruto to find the 5th Hokage, which will be Tsunade, and he promises Hiruzen that he will Orochimaru will become, well, I mean, Orochimaru, Tsunade will become the Hokage, and anyways, Naruto and Jiraiya leave. But once they leave, of course, Kakashi still gets kind of annihilated. And anyways, after Sasuke finds out a few days later, he actually goes and finds Itachi. Actually, Naruto gets a knock at his door when he was actually training in his lightning things. He was actually doing small drills. Of course, he gets a knockout at the door, and he opens it. You see those the two Akatsuki members, and then Sasuke appears. Sasuke gets annihilated, and Naruto actually saves him from getting well, Tsukiyomi. But then out of nowhere, he nearly gets sliced in half, and he actually once he actually, well, not nearly, he literally gets sliced in half. But then Naruto actually turns into lightning, something that he was learning during this journey. It was actually a lightning substitution. He turns into lightning and literally appears behind Kisame and kicks him in the face, and Kisame was able to withstand this and literally look at Naruto in a menacing way and a pretty psychotic way. Anyways, Naruto kind of gets shook, and still Sasuke is put under the Genjutsu, saying that Naruto is much stronger than him. Even as just a 13-year-old or 12-year-old, he's able to take on someone like fucking Kisame, and Kisame is one of the strongest members of the Akatsuki. We all know that. Anyways, after this, now Naruto, well, of course, Might Guy and both Jiraiya appear, and the two Akatsuki members escape. Might Guy wishes them luck and takes back Sasuke, and in the end they find Tsunade, and Naruto, of course, still resembling Dan and Mizuki. No, wait, not Mizuki. What? Dan and her, Dan and what's his name? Let me check. Naoki. How do I get him mixed up with Mizuki? Anyways, Naoki, of course, Naruto reminds her of the two, and but still Naruto gets pretty pissed off and challenges her, and in the end the fight actually ends in a draw where Naruto nearly gets punched the hell out of, like literally he nearly got annihilated by well, not Sakura, by Tsunade's punches, but he was able to well, withstand them, and the fight was stopped because it was going too far. And anyways, now after this, Tsunade returns to the village and heals Kakashi and Sasuke and tells Lee about the operation, and of course Sasuke still gets pretty pissed off and takes Naruto to the roof, which Naruto actually tells Sasuke no, but in the end still fights. And instead of using the Rasengan, Naruto just uses allows Sasuke to actually stab him with the Chidori, and Sasuke thought that he literally killed Naruto, but then Naruto actually turned into lightning and appeared behind him and had him in a headlock and telling him that it's all over, he's lost the fight. And Sasuke getting pretty pissed off, actually ran off on his own. Kakashi still giving him the speech as per normal. And anyways, after all of this, Naruto and Sasuke actually told, well, no, Sasuke still meets the anyways, of course Sasuke leaves as per normal, and after a while, of course, it's found out by Naruto, and they still created the team, and Naruto realized that he could not teleport towards Sasuke because, as I said before, his seal actually disappears once someone dies, and Sasuke had the pill of death, which means that he created he experienced a near-death experience. Well, he went through a near-death, he nearly died, or how the sound will say it, you need to die. And anyways, now after that, Naruto couldn't find him, and so the fights went pretty much similar to the original up until Sasuke's fight, which up until Naruto fighting Kimimaru, because here Naruto wasn't allowing anyone to take him on, and so he actually wanted to take Kimimaru out because he knew if Kimimaru were to survive, he would be a problem, and he did not know about Kimimaru actually about to die, but because of a deadly illness. But anyways, Naruto goes ham against Kimimaru, and Kimimaru actually decides to use his Curse Mark state, Curse Mark 1, and he was about to go Curse Mark 2 up until Naruto decided to use all of his power, and Naruto went through a lot of injuries. Naruto's arm was fully broken, and it was nearly taken off, like literally was nearly ripped off by Hxmesh, and so he's gonna use it at all. Naruto's left ribs, well, the left side of his rib cage was fully broken, and a bit of his head or his skull was a bit cracked. And anyways, now of course Naruto was able to beat Hxmesh and kill him before Lee could even arrive. That's how fast Naruto is. And Naruto, of course, right before Hxmesh died, Hxmesh says, "I guess you're the next Yellow Flash. I say, oh, dare say you're the orange Flash." And as he says that, he asks, he says sorry to Orochimaru and dies off. Anyways, Orochimaru was waiting at the Valley of the End for Sasuke, but then Naruto actually arrived and told Sasuke to wait. And Sasuke looked back at Orochimaru and started walking towards him, giving his back to Naruto. And then Naruto was about to start fighting, but then Sasuke is like, "Naruto, there's no point of you fighting. You're already nearly dead. If I fight you, you will die." Naruto says, "Shut up and return to the village already." And as he says that, Sasuke goes into his curse mark too, and literally Chidori's Naruto right in the chest, and Naruto nearly losing his arm, nearly losing like literally having his whole ribcage, the left ribcage fully broken, and Chidori through the right shoulder, which just made Naruto lose so much blood. He falls to the ground, and Naruto literally nearly dying. Of course, Naruto was retrieved to the Hokage, and Tsunade had to heal Naruto fully because he was in critical conditions. He was in a critical condition. And anyways, Sakura's motivation to become a medical ninja came from this, and that's where I'm gonna end off. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs, and subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123, also my friend Hxmesh, and my second channel, the King of Noobs. And don't forget to follow Shoker on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below. And if you want to support the channel a bit more, you can go and get yourself some good quality anime merch or any kind of merch from Beautiful Halo, and use my link in the description below and sign up from there. So you support the channel, and all the money that I get, all the share of the money that you guys use on there comes to me, so I can support, I can increase the channel's increase the channel's giveaways. I barely do any. I don't think I did any, to be honest. And one giveaway I wanted to do was the Discord server Nitro, which I will still do, but the money that I actually had, I actually gave it to a friend in need. He needed it, so I supported him with the money I had on PayPal. Of course I could have given him more, but it's just that I just didn't have any more. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Please stay safe. My ducklings are dismissed, and peace.